So now that you understand the basics of the Hyperdoc and you've seen an example, you may be asking yourself, how do I begin? There are 5 steps to create a quality Hyperdoc. First, you need to determine your objective. Using backwards design, think about what your desired outcome will be for this lesson. You also need to select your learning cycle. For our purposes today, we're going to be using the Hyperdoc model that we discussed earlier, which is engage, explore, explain, apply, share, reflect, and extend. Third, you need to decide how you want to package your Hyperdoc. Do you want to use Google Slides? Do you want to use Google Sites? Do you want to use Google Docs or PowerPoint or some other way to package it? Step number 4 is when you need to decide how you're going to build your workflow. First thing you need to consider is how are you going to share your Hyperdoc with your students? Is it going to be posted in Google Classroom or another learning management system? Is it going to be a shared document that you provide to the students? But how are you going to get that document into the hands of the students? Next, you need to decide how you are going to interact with the students and provide them timely and quality feedback on the work that they're doing throughout the process. Third, you need to decide how you're going to collect your students' work throughout the process. And next, you need to think about how many clicks is it actually going to take me as the teacher to view the student work that they've turned in. Number 5, think about your design and the platform that you're going to use. Things that you need to consider there would be your document color and size. You want something that's very appealing for the students to look at. What images will you be using? What links do you need? What videos are you going to include? Do you need any kind of tables inside your Hyperdoc? But think about the design and how it's going to look. Some other things to consider when designing your Hyperdoc would be the age of your students, the number of clicks that they need to make in order to access the content that you want them to view. Consider your font size and the readability. There's lots of cool fonts out there, but some of them are very hard to read, especially for younger students. You need to make sure that you have a good balance of text and images. You probably want to consider using a theme or a color scheme for your Hyperdoc. And then think about the flow of your lesson. How many pages it's going to be? Is it going to be a single activity? Or is it going to be an entire unit of study? So let's plan our first Hyperdoc. So for this Hyperdoc that we're going to practice creating, step 1, determine the objective. I want my students to create a book trailer for a novel they finished reading. Select your learning cycle. For this activity, we will be using the Hyperdoc learning cycle. I have combined steps 3 and 4. Select the packaging and building your workflow. For this particular Hyperdoc activity, it will be delivered to students using a Google Doc that will be uploaded into the Google Classroom learning management system. Once the students open the Hyperdoc, all the activities will be available for them within 1 to 2 clicks. Students will submit their work through Google Classroom. They will receive feedback in a variety of ways, including Google Classroom, comments in Google Docs, and Padlet. Step 5, the design. For this particular Hyperdoc activity, I'm going to use the color scheme of blue and red. I know that I need to find a video of a movie trailer for my students to view so that we can compare movie trailers and book trailers. I also need to find some videos that can serve as examples of book trailers for students to use during the Explore section of the Hyperdoc. Please proceed to Lesson 3, and we will actually practice creating a Hyperdoc.